Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to episode number 6 of our Minnesota Wild GM mode. So, in last episode we started up year number 2 and we have simmed all the way up to the trade deadline, where we actually are doing really well in comparison to last season. We are second place right behind Nashville in our division with a 34, 19, and 10 record. We have 78 points, which is 10 points more than the last team that's not in the playoffs in the division. So we're looking good right now, and we look like we might be a postseason team, or we should be a postseason team. Unfortunately, I am going to make one trade here at the deadline now, and the reason being is, as I said at the end pretty much of last episode, is Kirill Kaprizov is now listed as a third-line scoring forward, which means I would like to play him right here, but Jason Zucker is right there, so we're going to have to move Jason Zucker. And we're going to trade him to the Tampa Bay Lightning, or we're going to attempt to. I haven't seen if this deal goes through because of the autosave thing, so it looked pretty fair on paper, but hopefully it goes through. So basically, like I said, we're going to be trading him to another contender in the Tampa Bay Lightning. Hopefully we don't have to face them at all in the Stanley Cup Finals or something, because we're both listed as champion teams. Let's see. So Zucker right here, as you can see, he's not got the greatest trade value. He's not really that happy here anymore. He's 82 overall only, and he's 27, so he's still pretty good. Only on a 1-year deal left, so he's basically a rental for Tampa Bay to help them with their cup run. So there's that, and then we're also gonna have to throw in a pick, because or else this deal won't go through, I don't think. So we're going to give away our 2019 third round pick, which they actually want. So all this trade value, well, it's not that much, for somebody that they have on their trading block, because we do need some right wing prospects in his organization, and I think Radish is a decent replacement for that. So because like we have good enough left wing prospects with like Kaprizov, Greenway, and then good center prospects like Kunin, Eriksson Ek, and Lundestrom, and all those type of guys. So we need some right wing prospects kind of in his organization, so we're going to make a deal for Taylor Radish. I think this might go through. If not, we might have to add in something else or sweeten the touch a bit. So let's see if this goes through. And no, they don't want to. Particularly well. Maybe I'll have to throw in a second or something. But I don't want to do a second from this year, potentially. It's not got a lot of trade value. You know, I'll throw in a second and try and get this deal to go through. There we go. So, yeah, I had to give up a second, but we still have a decent amount of picks, and I think we're going to make some noise this year in the playoffs. So, Jason Zucker is gone. Now, basically, what I also wanted to do in regards to that Jason Zucker trade is just make sure. So, Radish is going to be going down to the minors, obviously. And playing down there in Iowa, so he could help them out a bit. And we are going to call up Jordan Greenway. And the reason I want to call up Greenway, let me just put Ferraro in here for now, since he's the only scratch guy, or forward. So basically why I want to call up Greenway is, like, he's already up to a 77. He's actually listed, I think, as a depth forward. I can't even click on him right now. What the hell? Here, wait a second. Yeah, he's listed as a depth forward already. He's got some good stats all around. So I think he should be a good player to bring up. So we're going to go back to roster moves for a second and call him up. And basically put Radish right where he was. And then that would be basically all our moves. So, oh wait, Greenway was on the top. Why did I go down? So Greenway, you are coming up to the NHL, buddy. And then this should give him some good growth during the offseason, and help him get ready for the NHL, which he's going to be in next year. So, yeah, and then in this right wing spot, like I was saying, Radish is going to take that top line right wing spot. Currently with the whatever the HL affiliate is with Tampa Bay, he had 13 goals, 20 assists, and 33 points. He was a plus 12, 18 penalty minutes. So just so you guys know his stats before he left Tampa Bay. And then we could kind of figure out what he put up with us. And then, yeah, we're going to also put him on the 3-on-3 line. We'll put him everywhere as we can, just because This guy is probably our top line right winger of the future, or maybe not. I think when I was talking to Jay Bryan, Sabres fan, he said though that Reddish got to an 82 for him, so he might actually be just as good as Zucker or even better than Zucker down the road. So that's the only deal we're gonna make. Let's just make sure I have the line set up properly, or I'll do that right now, and I'll see you guys in a second. Okay guys, so we got Greenway down there on the 4th line. I could have easily just basically put like in Ferraro instead of Zucker, but the thing is, what I realized is Zucker was a +10 when he left the team, while Ferraro was a -10, so I didn't really want to put a minus player on the 4th line to hurt our chances at like the playoffs or something. So Greenway was a -5 down there in Iowa before we called them up, so there's his stats from when he was in Iowa. Hopefully he can contribute in the NHL right now. He's 22 now, so he's getting a bit older. Like, he might be one of those left wing prospects that we have to kind of eventually move when he's like 26 or something, because he's not getting as good growth as like say Kaprizov is and Luke Kunin. So yeah, so that's that. And then in the AHL, as you can see now, Taylor Radish is on the top line, and yeah, so that's the only move we are going to make here in this episode, and that's actually our first kind of big trade. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. So now we're gonna sim all the way to the end of the season and see what our record is. And just 1 sec, let me clear my throat a bit. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna sim the remainder of the season now and see how we do. Hopefully we could contend for that top spot in our division, or even better than that. We actually have a game against Tampa Bay. You know what? Nah, I'm not gonna slow sim it. I was gonna say maybe we should slow sim it to see how Zucker plays against us, but let's go up to the 1st, so 1 more month. There you go, starting off with a win after the trade deadline. Nice. We're still winning games, 3 wins in a row, and then we lose to St. Louis. We actually beat Tampa Bay 4-1, so hopefully that Zucker trade made sense to Tampa Bay, because they're giving up a prospect because they're listed as a champion team. And yeah, and now we actually just lost them in a shootout too, so hopefully Zucker didn't have anything against us. And yeah, so one reason I called up Greenway is because Iowa is actually not doing that good down there. So the good thing is, at least this will give him some chances to actually grow, because I don't know if playing for a team that doesn't make the playoffs, like once the regular season ends, basically he doesn't get to play anymore. But now, since he's in the NHL, if we get to the playoffs, he gets to play. So he's going to get more ice time, that sort of thing. So it should help his growth, I think, even if he's listed as a depth forward. So yeah, we're more than likely, yeah, we're a playoff team, I think. 41, 25, and 13. Our AHL team, yep, we qualified for the playoffs for the first time under my GM reign, or whatever you want to call it. I wonder who we're going to be up against. The AHL team's definitely not making it. 32, 37, and 10. Let's go to the last 3 games, see how this team does there now. Hopefully we don't have to play someone like the Chicago Blackhawks in round 1. I didn't see where they were in the standings. And we win the last 3 games of the season and finished 44, 25, and 13. So now, before we go on to see who we're up against, we're going to do basically a end of the season wrap up and see who led us in points. What actually, did all teams play their games in it? You know what? We have to see who we're up against first, but we won't check their lines yet. So let's just get to the end of the season. But it looks like Nino Niederreiter led us with 61 points. Nice. Only 20 goals in comparison to last year's 28, I think, but whatever. Okay, can I see who we're up against yet? Okay, and yep, there you go. We're up against the St. Louis Blues in round number 1, so that's interesting. We'll check out them afterwards, but let's go to, yeah, player stats and the standings and all that stuff from the regular season. So I'm gonna have to add my Google Sheets page after this. So entire league, we were, where were we? 7th in the entire league, not bad. 101 points as well. Let's see. So, and Tampa Bay made the playoffs as well. Hopefully that trade doesn't come back to bite us. So let's just go through the standings like this so I could actually have chances to write down some of this stuff. Well, I'll write it down afterwards. But so yeah, Anaheim finished the best. I think they finished the best last year almost. Oh, Edmonton actually did. Yeah, that was right. Okay, so goals for per game on average. Were we scoring a lot? No, it doesn't look like it's still. Weren't we near the bottom for goals for? Okay, we picked it up. It looks like during the last bit of the season, 2.68 goals per game. Looks like around the middle. Our goals against was a different story though. We were the second best defensive team behind the Anaheim Ducks, who were the best defensive team last year, I think too. So Anaheim is playing good defensively, and that's why they're doing so well. Our power play got better actually as the season went on as well. It looks like. Did I see us already? Oh no, we're right here. It's still not the greatest. It's one of the top 10 worst, I think. It's top 10. That's just out of estimation. Let's see, our penalty kill was, our penalty kill stayed good during the entire season. 85%, only behind the Toronto Maple Leafs, who also made the playoffs. Just above Pittsburgh, who also made the playoffs. We had 5 shorthanded goals, which was, okay, it was top 5 in the league. We were 21-15-5 on home ice, 23-10-8 on the road, and we are 5-4-1 in our last 10 games. Okay, now let's take a look at our player stats for each position, and then we will take a look at what the St. Louis Blues look like. I think we might check progress reports in the AHL stats actually as well. So Granlund led centers with 56 points in 82 games, 15 goals, 41 assists. Not a lot of goals for him this year. 15. How much did he have last year? 18. Oh yeah, he's more of a playmaker, so it makes sense though. Luke Kunin, 52 points in his rookie year, 20 goals, 32 assists, and yeah, 52 points. Looks like he's a constant 50-point person, but he's got like 50 goals in his 2 seasons in the NHL and the AHL. So Charlie Coyle, 47 points, 18 goals, 29 assists. Eriksson Ek on that penalty kill, -5, so that he might be the problem from the penalty kill, but he had good defensive awareness, and his stick checking might have gotten better. So 12 goals, 24 assists for 36 points. Mikko Koivu, see, I think he has to go this year, because like Kunin's gonna be way better than him probably for next season, and like Koivu only put up 8 goals, 16 assists, 24 points, which he like picked it up near the end, and he was the +9, but I think he might have to go during the off season if we win a cup. Hopefully he retires in that sense. Eric Stahl led the way for left wingers with 30 goals, 28 assists for 58 points, but he was a -3. Kaprizov had 20 goals, 24 assists, 44 points. Parise, 12 goals, 13 assists for 25 points in 45 games, because remember he had that concussion all the way until the end of February pretty much. Dmitry Jaskin, who we acquired, he put up 13 goals, 9 assists, 22 points, which is pretty good for a 4th line player. And then Jordan Greenway, who we called up, actually jumped up to a 78, and he put up 10 points in 19 games and was a +6, so he actually was a really effective player up here in the NHL. Looks like he's more of a playmaker of a power forward. I don't know if that's the case in real life, because I might have made the wrong categories good and stuff like that. Like, I don't really know much about him in real life. I think he does actually fight more than I put him at and stuff like that, so whatever. Right wingers, Nino Niederreiter, 61 points, 20 goals, 41 assists, +8, nice. Ennis had 27 points. I don't think Ennis might be coming back next year, because only 4 goals in 82 games, and he is making $4.6 million. That's quite a lot to give for a guy that only puts up 4 goals, but he actually had 27 points total, so not that bad. Ferraro, 5 points in 45 games. See, as you can see, he's a -10. That's why I didn't want to keep him just in the NHL instead of calling up Greenway. Defensively, Ryan Suter, 44 points, only 2 goals. See, that's a bit of a concern, but 44 points, and he's still an 89 at his age, so it's all good. Dumba, 30 points. Brodin, 28 points. Spurgeon, 22. Murphy 9 points, and Riley only 5 points. So Riley doesn't seem to be growing much and putting up much numbers, but he isn't hurting us defensively, it looks like, either. Looks like only the top defensive pairing, which was Suter and Spurgeon, wasn't that good. -5 and a 0. So maybe we switch up for the playoffs. We switch Spurgeon and put Dumba up there with Suter, and then we put Spurgeon with Brodeen. I probably will pre-record episodes for the playoffs. So and goaltenders, so Devin Dubnyk 32, 22, and 10 with a .924 save percentage, 2.21 goals against average, and 4 shutouts. And then Hutchinson, he was really good, and he still continued it. 19 games played, 12 wins, 2 losses, and 3 OT losses. So he got his points in 15 of those 19 games. So he was really good, and he didn't put up a single shutout. His save percentage went down to a .912, which is okay still, and his goals against went up to a 2.56. So the team bailed him out, I guess, in the last little bit of the season, and then Svedberg was only in the NHL for a tiny bit. So that's our team. Now let's take a look at the entire league, and then we'll check our AHL player stats, and then that will be it for this episode almost, except for we actually have to check the St. Louis Blues lines. So John Tavares led the way with 98 points. Well, let's actually sort by certain parts. So goals, Ovechkin with 51 goals, and then Tarasenko with 50 goals. Okay, as this leader was Backstrom with 68, and Reinhardt with 60 right behind him. Point wise, as you were saying, Tavares, Tarasenko both up there with 98 and 97 points. Crosby not far behind. And McDavid had a good year, 89 points and 45 goals. So, and he's up to a 95 at 22. Jesus. Any of our players? I don't think so. I didn't see anybody of ours. Whatever. We don't have that good top guy yet. Our best player was like 60-something points. So John Tavares led the way in plus-minus as well. McDavid and Sekera up there too. So the Oilers were a really good team offensively. Pellion minutes, Ryan Reeves 144. Power play goal leader was Malkin, and Tarasenko was 16. Shorthanded goal leader was Marco Dano with 4, and then Tyson Jost had 3. I think he had some last season too, didn't he? As I remember, yeah, he had 2 shorthanded goals in his rookie season, so he had 5 shorthanded goals already in his career. So I guess people gotta watch out for Tyson Jost if we ever play Colorado. And is there any of our guys? Yeah, Coyle's up there, 2 goals. Nice. Game-winning goals, Malkin with 12 leads the way, or led the way. Shooting percentage by somebody that's actually played a lot of games. Who's played a lot of games here? Oh, Jesper Fast. Okay. He had a 19.8 shooting percentage. Most time on ice per game was Jake Muzzin with 26.45. He had more than Roman Josi even. Wow. Okay, and yeah, the other stats don't really matter that much. Well, let's just check fights for now. Ryan Reeves with 22 fights. Okay. And goaltenders, let's go to goalie stats. So most wins, Matt Murray with 45. And yeah, so that's that. Losses, let's see. Luongo 36 losses. Same with Thomas Greiss. OT losses, Martin Jones 11 and Henrik Lundqvist 11. Shutouts, Braden Holtby with 12. Best save percentage from a starter. John Gibson looks like he won it again, 928 save percentage. And he had a good goals against as well. So I think John Gibson's gonna win back-to-back Vezina's. And yeah, let's just check rookie skaters as well quickly. We might not actually check the AHL stats just yet. We might be able to. We have a bit of time. So Colin White led rookie skaters. For some reason, players you create don't get put into the rookie categories. So, unfortunately, Koonin and stuff like that won't win the Rookie of the Year because even though they should have, but they didn't. So Colin White though looks like he did. So yeah, that's that. Let's go back to all skaters. And let's go to the AHL and go to our team, which was the Iowa Wild. just quickly skim through this. So any young prospects, so yeah, Greenway was up there before he left the team. British, 51 points. I can't remember exactly how much I had. I'll have to check back later again on the video, but 51 points in 82 games. Nice. Lundestrom had 30 points in his rookie season, and he's up to a 64 now, so he's growing. His puck skills are all going up, same with some of his skating categories and defensive stats and physical. Everywhere but his senses, so he might not be a good offensive player. Whatever. 9 goals, 21 assists, -9. Many other prospects. Sokolov, 21 points in 82 games. He's up to a 68, so he's kind of getting there. So Jalen, 70, 19 points. Olofsson, 19 points, and looks like he's capping off around a 75. Salaturo, 15 points, and he's up to a 67 at 22. Borman, 13 points. He's up to a 68. And yeah, that's that. What about goaltenders? Capo Kakinen, 9, 10, and 2. Not the greatest. Yeah, so we definitely need a prospect goaltender maybe this year in the draft or something like that. I don't even know. Okay, so now that we're done with the player stats for the season, now let's take a look at the St. Louis Blues and what their lines look like. So we're not going to actually just click on the team. We're going to just go to view lines because that's a nice, easy new setting instead where you can view all the team's lines. So let's go to the St. Louis Blues. We're actually going to check where Zucker slots in on Tampa Bay as well for something else. So Jaden Schwartz, Barbashev, and Tarasenko. Oh, Tarasenko is the scary part, obviously, but Schwartz is a nice complementary piece, and then Barbashev is young, and he's going to be getting good. I don't know why they have him as the first-line center, because like Alexander Steen, they could have had Steen there, potentially. Second line, Fabry, Vermette, and Shen, so you got a bit of some vets with a younger player again. Third line, Colin Wilson with Alexander Steen and Patrick Berglund. Yeah, this team's got good center depth. Bo Bennett with Sabatka and Sanford. Interesting forward core, but the defense, yeah, defense is always good for these guys. Petrangelo, 88 with Pareko, 84. Bomeister, 82. And Edmondson, 80. Schmaltz, 80. And Bortuzzo, 79. So, yeah, I think it looks better than our defensive core for sure. Goaltending wise, they have Jake Allen, 86, which is less than Dubnyk, so we have the advantage in goal, I think. And then Carter Hutton is an 80, so yeah, we have a better goaltending core. Scratch, they have Nick Cromwell and Carl Gunnarsson, really, so both those guys are injured. So actually, their defensive core should have 2 81s down here as well, so yeah, they have a really good defensive core, so that is where we need to somehow beat them. Hopefully they don't come back, those guys, soon. So, oh, actually, I was going to check Tampa Bay's lines quickly, because I wanted to see where Jason Zucker was slotting in on Tampa Bay. Hopefully he's getting ice time over there. Okay, they have him on the second line, right wing spot. Interesting. How did he finish the season? I don't know how much points he had with us. Well, it would say in the Google Sheets page. So he had 31 points in 75 games in the NHL, +7. So he went down by +3, or -3, I should say. So he wasn't as good defensively in Tampa Bay. He might be getting power play time even over there. Did we have him on our power play? I don't think so. Nope. So he's on their power play as well. So if we play Tampa Bay, we have to look out for Zucker. So anyways, guys, I think that's it for this episode of our Minnesota Wild GM mode. So next episode, we'll take on the St. Louis Blues in round number 1, and hopefully maybe have a chance to win our first ever Stanley Cup. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time.